Are you stuck deciding between the charming resale home or a brand new construction home here in Las Vegas, Nevada? Discover the pros and the cons of each in this video. Let's start with the pros of new construction. First, customization. So when you walk into a resale home, you're not gonna get to customize very much unless you decide to remodel. But that can get costly, especially if you don't like the layout. Tearing down walls, figuring out structural bearings, all that stuff sounds like a nightmare to me. I don't know about you. But if you do a new home, you have the opportunity to customize the floor plan, the layout, depending on which route you go. If you use a community, then you're gonna have to go with the layouts and floor plans that they have available, although many of them have tweaks that you can make. They also have structural upgrades that you can add on. If you wanna go full customization and hire your own architect and designer and do a full custom, now you're gonna get to design whatever you want. Number 2, modern home technologies. When you go through a resale home that was built 20 years ago, you're gonna see the hot new technologies that were available then. But when you're building from scratch or you're using one of the builders, you're gonna be able to amplify and use modern technology in the home. Cat 5 wire, you're gonna be able to do automated shades, lighting packages, sound, security, all of these really nice features that have come out in the new age technologies, you're gonna be able to add to your home with ease. Warranties. Many new homes come with warranties. You always get that 10-year structural warranty, as that is the law here in Nevada. But with these new home builders, many of them offer a 1-year, 3-year, a 5-year plan, depending on which package you purchase. The other thing to note is you're gonna get warranties on things like your dishwasher, your refrigerator, all through the manufacturer. Now, something that I always share with my clients is warranties are really nice to have from the builder. Let's say the house settles, because it's going to settle here in Las Vegas and Henderson. We get a lot of settling in homes. There might be some stucco cracks, or I've seen with my clients where the doors don't close like they used to anymore because the house is settled and things have become a little misaligned. Well, the builder's gonna send someone out most of the time to fix this door for you. So you're not gonna have to hire an outsider. So I always share with my clients, little side tip, before that 1-year anniversary hits, have a home inspector go through the home, make note of anything that's happened in the home, anything that you've noticed that's changed since you purchased the home, and make sure to get that in before your 1-year home warranty is up. Up to standard builder codes. So as new codes come out and things are done within the builder association, it's important to know what is up to code. And these newer homes are gonna have that higher standard. How I can quickly tell if a home is newer is when I walk through the home, I'm gonna notice 2 things. One, that the air conditioning units don't use Freon anymore unless they've been replaced. Older conditioning units are using Freon, which is actually not available anymore. Another thing I note is that there's fire sprinklers throughout the home. Newer homes built after 2012, this was code that these homes have these fire sprinklers. And it's also a nice savings in your home insurance. Lower maintenance. Lower maintenance because the home is gonna have new insulation, it's gonna have a new roof, it's gonna have new plumbing, new air conditioning units, new water heater, new appliances. Brand new home means less maintenance. Another thing I like to share is all of the new homes are gonna have desert-friendly landscaping. So you're not gonna have where there's so much grass in your backyard, your water bill is getting really expensive, especially here in Las Vegas and Henderson. We are seeing the tiered water usage in our bills right now. And a lot of people have said to me, I need to switch out my landscaping. Well, if you have a new home, you're not gonna have to do that because now all the builders are presenting product with desert-friendly landscaping and fake grass. With all the pros that I've shared, does having a new home sound like the dream experience? Let me know in the comments below. With the pros, there's always cons. So here's the cons of new construction. Con number 1, higher initial costs. So here in Las Vegas and Henderson, we have limited inventory. It has actually just been announced by the Review Journal that we only have 8 years left of land to build on. It's pretty insane. Summerlin has about less than 10 years left, Inspirata, same thing, West Henderson as well. So we are seeing higher costs to get started. And after COVID, things like lumber and people working and labor costs and all these things have also increased. So what that means, you're going to be paying a higher cost for a brand new home. Some other things to note with a brand new home, you are going to have a lot premium. You're going to have your base price. You're going to do structural upgrades, which are about 20%. You're going to do design upgrades, which could be however much of a budget you set and what you want to do. You're going to have to put in landscaping. Most new homes come with a dirt lot in the back. Another thing to note, light fixtures are not included, fans aren't included, unless you build a custom home. Now that's a whole different set of situation. But the other thing to note is you're going to have to invest in window treatments. Some new home builders do blinds included, refrigerator, washer and dryer, but they're all different. So it is going to be a higher initial cost if you are doing new construction. Waiting period. Unlike resale, where you walk through the home, you negotiate the deal, a 30 to 45 day close is typical for a resale home. You're not going to be able to do that with a brand new home, unless it's a quick move-in. So I will caveat that. Brand new homes take time to build. We're talking anywhere from 6 to 8 to 10 to 24 months, depending on the size of the home and the customizations going into it. So this is something you need to think about. How much time do you have to move? Is this something you can sit in your home and wait? Is this something that you want to jump in right now and do? You might be wanting to look for a quick move-in. So these are some different options to think about, and definitely a con if you're looking to move today. So while I've shared the pros and cons, I want to give you a couple of quick tips about purchasing new construction. Something I always share with my clients is it's really important to go through the model home, but put blinders on. Model homes are decorated and upgraded to the T. Oftentimes, the model home is going to be almost $1 million, maybe even $2 million more than what you're actually going to be delivered. So you have to remind yourself that what you're looking at is the flow of the floor plan, the finish quality, the height of the ceilings, the way the yard size feels. That's what you're really looking at. And a side note tip that I only give to my exclusive clients that work with me, but I'll share with you guys on my YouTube channel, is it's important to ask the sales rep to walk through an almost finished product. It is so important to do this, and all of my clients have always been blown away when we've done this. We walk through the model home, we get a feel for the flow. Then I'll ask the sales representative to walk through one that's almost finished. We walk through that, and that really shows what's actually going to be delivered to you as the consumer. And I feel like it really gives you a sense of what the value is of that home. Second tip, if you want a good deal on new homes and new home construction, there's two things to do. One, it's always a good idea to go before they open the model home and get in quickly in one of the first rounds of the new home community. This is when the pricing is going to be at its lowest because they are introducing the community and they want to create buzz. So oftentimes if I hear of a new community, I see that big sign go up, I'll make some calls and find out what the base price is going to be, find out when they're going to be announcing things. And I feel like this kind of gives my clients a heads up on what's going on in the community. The third thing to note is you want to budget accordingly. It always drives me crazy when I have clients say to me, oh, it says it's starting in the $2 million range. But when you get there, you have to remember there's the lot premium. There's gonna be upgrades that you're gonna do structurally. There's gonna be upgrades that you're gonna have to add to the home yourself, like potentially backsplash in the kitchen. And maybe you're gonna wanna upgrade the countertops and put hardware on the cabinetry. Most of the time, these homes do not come with window treatments and light fixtures. So these are things you're gonna wanna think about budget-wise. Also, landscaping. Wow, this is one that I always hear from clients. They are just shocked when I have sold their homes later on that no one told them that the backyard doesn't come with the home. And they end up with a dirt lot in the back and they're like, oh my gosh, I have to put another $20, $30, $100, $200,000 into my backyard that I did not account for. And oftentimes you only have a year or less to do so. So it's important to talk to someone who does new home construction and knows all of these things and insider tips to share with you before you start your journey. If we haven't met yet, my name is Courtney Bentley and I'm a luxury real estate agent here in Las Vegas. I offer a concierge service to take the headache out of moving to my favorite city. Now let's move on. Pros of purchasing a resale home. Mature neighborhood. So when you drive through a new construction neighborhood, you're gonna see that cookie cutter feel like I just talked about. When you drive through a more mature resale community, you're gonna see more mature landscaping. You're gonna see a different facade in front of these homes, even if they are tract style homes. And there's some kind of charm that happens when you drive through an older community. I also really love the feel. When you drive through a community that has character and charm, you just get this fuzzy feeling and it feels like home. Immediate availability. So like I mentioned with new construction, you're most likely gonna have to wait 8, 12, 24 months. But with a resale home, you can usually get into these homes in less than 30 to 45 days, depending how long your loan takes, if you're cash, if you have to wait for the sellers to move. And there's usually a lot more negotiation room depending on the market. When you walk into a resale community, a lot of times the negotiation room is gonna be with, if you use the builder's lender, or if they have lottery systems sometimes when those get overfilled and overflowed with all this demand. Where a resale home, if the market is pretty steady and it's priced in a way that you're happy with, it's in a community, you have comps to run off of, and you can move into that home pretty quickly. Lower purchase price. So like new home construction, you're gonna have to invest in the lot premium, the base price, all the upgrades. And then when you move in, you're gonna have to put even more money into it. A resale home, that previous owner has already invested in the yard, the hardware on the cabinetry, the light fixtures, some of the design upgrades that they've personally done. All that's been taken care of, and most likely they've even done the window treatments, which could be $30,000 to $50,000, $60,000 in savings. Another thing to note that I actually forgot to mention in the cons of buying a new home is here in Las Vegas and Henderson, we have a new law that you can no longer build a pool over 600 square feet. So if you're buying a resale home and you want that fabulous, luxurious vacation resort style pool, you're not gonna be able to do that later on. So if that's a criteria checklist item for you, you may wanna go the resale route because you can narrow down homes that already have a finished yard with that beautiful resort backyard and then go from there. Established neighborhoods and comparables. So when you're going into a new home community or a new home developing area, you don't have a lot of comparable properties to compare your home's value to. But when you go into a resale community or an area that is very mature and developed, you're gonna have a lot of comparable properties to go off of. You can see the data of how the neighborhood has increased in value or maybe decreased in value. You're gonna be able to see the turnover rate, how many renters there are and owners there are and vacationers there are, vacation style homes. So this is something that a lot of my clients who are more into the numbers prefer because they like to see data, and you don't have that in the new emerging developing areas. Let me know in the comments below. Is it sounding like you'd prefer the charm of a resale home or the modern upgraded interior of a new home? Let me know in the comments below. Cons of purchasing a resale home. Higher maintenance costs. If you're purchasing a home that's hitting that 20-year mark, you want to look at the major appliances. When's the last time the air conditioning was replaced? The water heater, the furnace, the ductwork. How's the insulation inside? If the home is not insulated very well, you may have a really high energy bill. You want to check out the kitchen appliances. How old are those appliances? Do they have any warranties left? These are all things you're going to want to consider when you're purchasing a resale home. And it's very important you take the time to walk around the home and notice these things yourself, or have a good agent that points them out. Another thing to note is if the home is a larger custom home with a ton of grass and mature landscaping, you're going to want to know what those water bills are. Like I shared previously, the water here, our conservation, they're really pushing us to do desert-friendly landscaping. So they have made these tiered bill marks for our water usage. So if you go over a certain water usage, it can multiply, and that can get quite expensive. So if you're someone like myself, I purchased a custom home in Section 10 in 10 Oaks Estates. It had a half-acre yard, a beautiful front yard with tons and tons of grass. I loved it. When I moved here from Bangkok, I was so excited to have this huge yard, my dogs could run around. And then I got my water bill. And then I kept getting my water bill. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is insane. Like, it's crazy the amount of money I'm spending to keep my grass alive. So we ended up enrolling in the Water Smart program, where they do give you a refund. But again, it was still something I had to do and something I had to invest in order to get my water bill down. So these are all things that you're gonna wanna consider when it comes to looking for your dream home in the resale communities. Less customization. So when you go into a resale home, especially one that's that 20, 30 year, you're gonna see a lot of compartmentalized rooms. And that was the trend and style when they built homes at that time. You're gonna see a lot of Mediterranean, European feel. Well, some people love that. I actually prefer it. I think the materials that we're using in these homes are like the utmost quality. But most people nowadays like that more modern, open floor plan, open feel, stones, kind of natural feel. And most likely you're not gonna find that in an older resale home. So if you are someone looking in the resale home communities, you may really fall in love with the neighborhood because of the mature landscape and the way all the homes are customized and the way the community feels. But it may be hard for you to find that dream home with the dream layout. And like I shared earlier, it can get quite expensive if you start tearing down walls, you start moving electric around, you start moving plumbing around. That becomes time, money, energy, and you may not be up for that. So here are my biggest tips for choosing between new construction and resale. If you're someone that loves the idea of a newer home, you like the floor plans, the flows, you like the style of the new homes being presented, and you love the fact you're not gonna have to replace the AC or the water heater anytime soon, you may wanna look at homes that are 3 to 5 years old. And I share this because the previous owner has done the landscaping, the upgrades inside. They've broken in the home, so the home has settled. The home takes about 1 year to 2 years to settle here in Las Vegas and Henderson. Home has settled. They've gone through the warranty process if they needed to. They've found out if there was any plumbing issues that would come up that maybe you would have experienced if you bought the new home and moved in and didn't get an inspection. I mean, they've gone through the whole process, and the community has most likely already sold out. So you're not dealing with the construction noise, you're not dealing with any of that, and the neighbors are more settled, and maybe they've done some upgrades on the exterior with lighting, maybe even outside with plants. So that 3 to 5 year mark is kind of a sweet spot. But you're not gonna get the deal that you would have gotten if you entered the new home community at the time it opened. So these are all things to consider, and I hope this video helps you make some choices between resale and new home construction. For more videos on relocating to Henderson or Las Vegas, check out the videos above. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.